Terry.
My man.
Such a pleasure to have you here, my friend.
Oh, it's a pleasure to see you
so
again.
Good to see you. Yes, my friend. Yes. When I told people that I was going to talk to you, people in Brazil, people in Brazil love you, right?
First of all, the love. I got goosebumps. You see it. It just popped up. They give me so much love, and I love it right back. It's I told you a little bit earlier, but I'm going to say it again. You don't get to choose who loves you. Like, the fact that my wife loves me is her decision. It's not my decision. My wife, we've been together 35 years, and I feel the same way about Brazil. Like, Brazil has just said, we love you, and it's unconditional. And we just take you and we make you ours. And I said, and when you feel that, it's just, and it just starts this cycle because I love them right back.
Do you know why there's this connection? Do you have any idea or how this happened?
I think one thing is I'm passionate. And I think Brazil feels my passion about everything. I'm passionate about art. I'm passionate about music. I'm passionate about the way I perform. I mean, a lot of times when I started to perform, even, in the beginning of my entertainment career, I was really big. Like, I would go in and do auditions and people were like, whoa, that's too much. That's too much.
You're saying big on the acting.
Yeah, I was like, when they see this, they're like, whoa. But that's the style that Brazil is. Brazil is colorful. It's energetic. It's lively. Let me tell you, a lot of things about when you look at American entertainment, it's all like, so I think that... It's very subtle and little, and people go, but that's not me.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I'm like, bam, I really like that. Yeah. It's the things that made me laugh and the things that made me enjoy it, but that's what I think is kind of clicked. With Brazilians is the fact that, because it kind of comes from football for me, because when I remember playing in the NFL and playing in football, and you could injure yourself or die at any moment. And that's the thing. Like, I remember running down the field and getting that first hit, and you're slamming your body into other people at 100 miles an hour. And there's no way to do that calmly. You know what I mean? There's no way to just kind of walk in. You're going to get your head pulled off.
And it's very difficult to jump from like being that to just this guy.
Yeah. I've never been that. So I kind of take that and put that into my entertainment where it's like, I want that hit. I like that. And then you can calm it down, But I think that's one of the things that people saw in me, and it just kept going and kept going. Also, one of the early things, we did The Expendables.
The movie, yeah. And was it there? You guys shot
we
there?
Shot in Rio.
In Rio, yeah. It was.
I'll never forget it. It was my first time being with all these action stars and Stallone and Dolph Lundgren and Jason Statham and Jet Li. It was so cool, and we were all in Rio together. And I remember running on the beach, and people were filming me. Like, you could see it on the internet. They were running. I remember I just went for a run on the beach, and I ran into a guy by the name of HÉLIO de la PEñA.
Yeah, well, HÉLIO de la PEñA. It's a good friend.
Yes.
He's my friend.
HÉLIO was like, I'm on TV. I'm an actor. And I was like, oh, man. I said, what do you do? He said, I have this show, Casetes and Planetas. And I said, oh.
It's so good to see you say that.
I know. And I went and I said, wait a minute, man. I said, and I looked at some of the stuff online. Because it was the early days of the internet back then. I mean, literally, it just wasn't as far advanced as it was, because this was around 2009, around that time. And dude, I said, I would love to come see you do your show. And he said, Terry, come be on the show, right? And I was like, okay. And I visited him at Global TV, and HÉLIO just looked out for me. And the thing is, I couldn't act. Like, he wouldn't, because of the rules, they wouldn't let me play a character. But I could play myself.
You could be yourself.
So I remember we had this thing called Querido o Bombero. So I'm not saying it right, but it was Bombero. And
a fireman.
The fireman.
Bombero. You said right.
Bombero.
You said right.
And I said, and HÉLIO sat me there. He said, you just stand there and be Terry Crews. And he said, and so HÉLIO was like, I have Terry Crews. He's trying to see you. And I was like, hi, I'm Terry Crews. And I'm yelling at this fireman on the wall, right? And it hit with Brazil. So when people started to see, they're like, wow, this guy's willing to come do our comedy.
Yes.
I had such a fun day. It was, and listen, and also I had a guide named Tony who took me all around, Tony Santos. I'll never forget this. He took me all around Brazil. He was the sweetest man ever. I said, Tony, man, if I could bring you back to the States, because I wasn't making a lot of money. I said, but you are such a good man. And he would take me to eat. I remember getting the Brazilian steakhouses and the food, and then he took me to see Christ the Redeemer. And then I actually went to his house and ate dinner with his wife and his kids. And because it was home, and it made me feel at home. And I said, man, I love this. And Tony, it made it a spiritual thing for me. And I think that people feel that especially when I talk Brazil and the fact that I was there, it just created this connection that just would never go